Hey everybody, Tony D, Little Jones asleep on the couch, and we are doing a Screenwriter's Rant. I almost forgot. The House Next Door, Meet the Blacks 2 official trailer has dropped. I did not see Meet the Blacks in the first one, but they give a nice little recap in the trailer, which I liked, and they kind of had to because it was 5 years ago, pre-pandemic, and I'm assuming that this was about meeting the ultimate Karen, so they show the characters from the previous movie, and then the joke is Mike Epps plays a guy whose last name is Black, and he's black, and he moves into a white neighborhood, and you know, it's a joke. It's a fish out of water comedy. I didn't see it, so I don't know how funny it was. So maybe somebody in the comments can tell me. Before we get into it, though, smash like and subscribe. Don't forget, we have 2 other videos, including a Hollywoke hot take on the other channel, Bitchute and Rumble. Go there for Hollywood hot take and the headlines of the day. Can't do that on YouTube. They're too uptight. So this trailer is cut very well because, first, I get the lowdown, or at least enough of it, of the previous movie, which is important, I think, to kind of establish the character. So it was the Blacks, as in the family, the last name the Blacks, versus the Karens or whatever. But in this movie, in 2021, see, they upped the stakes a little bit, and they showed the moon with bats, and right away I was like, is this some sort of supernatural movie? And at first I wasn't sure, although it was very dark and creepy and mysterious. And then there's this house, and they go knocking, and Cat Williams shows up, and he sort of drifts down the stairs, which is, you know, sort of a creepy thing a supernatural creature can do. And at first I thought, nah, maybe it's just weird, right? Because typically in a sequel movie, it's going to be the same kind of sequel. But these guys really went out of their way, and then so they present him as a pimp, right? And then Mike Epps, being a suburban guy, you know, he doesn't want pimps in the house, in his neighborhood, so he's trying to get rid of them. So he does this bit where he pretends to be Caucasian to get the cops to come, like they won't come for anybody else. And the entire cast is black anyway, so it's like, I don't know, is he living in the same neighborhood? Maybe he moved. But he sort of finally puts one over on a guy he assumes is a pimp, but it turns out he's a vampire. Which I was like blown away, because that makes this a completely different movie, right? This is a sequel, and yet it's the same character. It's like taking the characters from the Blues Brothers and putting them up against the zombies, right? It would be like, what? So I like this. I like this whole concept. It's a fun way. I wish I'd seen the first movie. I don't know. The first movie probably wouldn't really appeal to me. But I do like Mike Epps. I've seen him in stuff. I think he did one of the voices in that Aaron Bruder cartoon, the one on Adult Swim. You know the one I mean. So you see Cat Williams here, and I like Cat Williams. I think he's funny, although he's a little incomprehensible on stage, and he's had his issues. But he looks cool as a vampire. He's got a whole crazy look going here, and it's funny because his crazy look as a vampire is kind of similar to what he wears on stage as a comedian. So that's kind of fun. So you got Danny Trejo's here, which is funny because he was in vampire movies. And this is Rick Ross, which I couldn't believe. I recognized him. I did another take of this, and I was like, who the hell is that? And of course, where is he? Snoop Dogg is in it too. I can't find the still of him, but he's in it. And I didn't recognize any of the other guys. But, see, you got all these people in it. Yeah, there's Snoop Dogg. And so there's a lot of people in this movie. They seem to be having a good time. It's a monster movie, so monsters are fun. So you got the comedy. You've got the sort of fantasy of the whole thing. You got hot girls. You got all these guys are in it too. I don't know these guys here, but I think this movie, I think this could be a lot of fun. I mean, it looks crazy. It looks nuts. And it works because, and this is it, his wife who gets turned into a vampire. The House Next Door, Meet the Blacks 2. Which is funnier because it's a sequel. And the thing with comedies, the best thing about them is, unlike, say, a drama, the structure of the comedy serves the comedy, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be that original, although original is better. But since you're doing a vampire movie, you want to do the vampire tropes and do your own take on them. And June 11th. So they're doing that here. You know, they're playing around with the vampire tropes. They seem to be having a good time, and yeah, here he is. It looks cool. So I'm all about this movie. I think it could be fun. I think it will probably be funny. You know, we need more comedies, and it doesn't look woke. If it got woke, I'd be very upset. But it doesn't appear to be that way at all. Yeah, there's some jokes that are, I'll say that, you know, they're racial humor, but they're not divisive in their take, I'll say. And it just looks fun. It just looks fun, and that's what we need. We need fun again, you know? And this is only in theaters, so this would be a fun movie to go see. You know, no one's going to come out of this movie angry and say, oh, injustice, or oh, I didn't like the way people were portrayed in this movie. They could go to this movie, have a good time, and hopefully go home with a smile on their face. I think Cat Williams is one of those guys. You know, his stand-up's okay, but like, I like guys who really try to entertain you, even if they don't totally succeed with me. If I could see that they're earnestly trying to earn my laugh, I appreciate that. I respect that. And I think Cat Williams is one of those guys. Even though he's had problems over the years or whatever, he said some wacky things, but, you know, I think ultimately he is like a lot of comedians. He's like a working man's comedian. He wants to earn that laugh. He's not being lazy. He's trying so hard, everything he does to make you laugh. And, you know, in his look and in his mannerisms, everything he does is all about trying to get that laugh out of you. So I appreciate that in him. And I think Epps, too. I think Epps is very funny. He's got, you know, he's good in this role. You know, he's like an everyman. And it would be very funny to see another sequel of this and go in even a crazier direction. Right? Like, you go from, like, you know, standard sort of fish out of water comedy, then you go to, like, supernatural comedy, and then go, like, some place completely, like, I don't know, time travel or something. It would be fun. You know, yeah. So June 11th, Meet the Blacks. The House Next Door, Meet the Blacks 2. All right? So that's it for me and Little Joan. We'll see you tomorrow. Check out our other videos on Bitchute and Rumble, including a Hollywoke hot take and the headlines. That's what we do. It's only on Bitchute and Rumble. I'm sorry. I know it's inconvenient, but you got to go there. And we'll see you tomorrow.